Most wealthy people don't look wealthy. They don't talk loudly about money, they don't show receipts, and they don't feel the need to prove anything. While everyone else is busy trying to look successful, they are quietly building something that compounds over time. If you've ever felt like people around you are moving ahead faster, this is an illusion created by visibility. What you usually see is spending, not wealth. Real wealth grows in silence, without applause, and without urgency. We live in a world where attention is mistaken for success. Social platforms reward showing off, not building quietly. Every like and comment creates a small dopamine hit, and the brain learns to repeat whatever brings that reward. That's why people buy things they don't need, at prices they can't afford, just to feel validated for a moment. But validation disappears quickly, while financial consequences stay for years. Loud spending may feel good today, but it quietly steals freedom from tomorrow. Quiet people don't use money to prove who they are. They don't tie their identity to what they own or how they appear. For them, money is a tool, not a costume. This psychological separation is powerful. When your self-worth isn't attached to spending, your decisions become calmer, slower, and smarter. You stop reacting emotionally and start thinking long-term. That single shift puts you ahead of most people without them even noticing. One of the biggest advantages quiet people have is patience. They understand delayed reward. They don't need pleasure right now if it costs them later. They know that comfort today often comes with stress tomorrow, while restraint today creates options in the future. This doesn't feel exciting, and that's exactly why most people avoid it. But boring, repeated decisions are what quietly build financial strength. Data consistently shows that many financially secure people live far below their means. They drive ordinary cars, live in modest homes, and keep their routines simple, not because they have to, but because they choose to. They understand that money left alone continues to work, while money spent on appearance retires early. Instead of upgrading their lifestyle with every raise, they upgrade their margin of safety and peace of mind. The need to flex usually comes from insecurity, comparison, or fear of being overlooked. None of these create wealth. When someone feels behind internally, they often overcompensate externally. But money doesn't respond to image management. It responds to consistency. Quiet people don't need to announce progress. They trust time to reveal results on their behalf. Their habits are simple and repeatable. They automate good financial decisions, so willpower isn't required. They spend intentionally instead of emotionally. They protect their attention because they know distraction is expensive. They say no without guilt and without explanation. Most importantly, they think in years and decades, not weeks or months. This long horizon removes panic and replaces it with clarity. Modern media makes this harder by training people to expect fast results. Everything looks instant, exciting, and dramatic. Wealth is none of those things. Real financial growth feels slow and often boring. Quiet people don't confuse boredom with failure. They understand that stability doesn't need constant stimulation to be working. The most important shift is stopping the question, how do I look successful? And replacing it with, how do I become unshakable? Unshakable people don't rush, don't chase trends, and don't panic when others do. They build systems, trust compounding, and stay calm while the world stays noisy. Many people who seem average for years suddenly appear successful overnight. What others don't see is the quiet decade behind that moment. No announcements, no shortcuts, no attention-seeking behavior. Just patience, consistency, and restraint. That's how wealth usually looks in real life. Invisible until it isn't, If you feel behind, it doesn't mean you're losing. It might mean you're playing a longer game in a louder world. Wealth isn't a performance, it's a process. Loud people optimize for attention, but quiet people optimize for outcomes. Attention fades, outcomes compound. When you stop trying to look rich, you give yourself the space to actually become wealthy.